Ahoy, friends! Welcome to another episode of the Carol Karl Show. This episode is all about adventures in polyamory and open relationships. We're in our Star Trek costumes for Halloween because I thought it'd be so fun to talk about. To boldly go where not many people are willing to go, but some people, more people than you think. So it's not been a secret, but it's not been something that we've openly flaunted, that we've had an open relationship for almost 2 years now, or at least a year and a half. It's been at least a year and a half. But we had talked about it for a long time, and when we talked about it for years, really just out of curiosity, trying to understand, because at first it was like, we knew some people that were in the lifestyle and we were concerned and we were trying to understand. And that desire to understand and that concern for them led us to have a lot of discussions about like the pros and cons and how would it work and how would we feel about it, all that kind of stuff. And for a long time, I think our consensus was it wasn't the physical part of being with another person that made us uneasy. It was like the emotional bond, the fear that we would lose one another, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, and and I agreed with that. And I think where I got at one point, because we were like, you know what, maybe one day we went back and forth over the years. There were a few times that we discussed it a little more seriously than others for various reasons, but for me, I don't know, I'm a weirdo, and I like to push things and stuff, but I was like, well, you know what, if someone else, okay, so I don't want to be controlled by fear. Fear is the mind killer. And even though it makes me uncomfortable, I want to face my fears and overcome them. And I also was like, well, if another girl could steal you away from me, then good riddance. I would be hurt. I would miss you. But like, if another girl could steal you away from me, I like to think that we're invincible. That we're like, we're like peanut butter and jelly. We're Carol and Karl. And if I'm wrong about that...
Which one of us is jelly?
I was going to say you, but then, I'm jiggly, but, I feel like I'm also sticky like peanut butter. I don't know. Who do you think's the peanut butter or jelly?
I was just trying to derail you.
Okay.
It worked.
Whatever. I'm going to go back. I'm going to get back on the rails. Okay, but I was like, well, someone else could steal you away from me. I want to know. And it's like, I'd rather know sooner rather than later. So I'm not wasting my time, so there's part of me. You are not a waste of time, but if you could be stolen away, then I know. Well, and it's not only that, there's so much to this, but just kind of touching on, there have been times in our relationship, I can't count how many times, where it's like, I think I'm too much for you, Karl. I'm constantly trying
to think that now. You constantly think that. You were saying it yesterday.
I don't know. I think I've gotten to a point where I don't think. See, I've gone back and forth over the years between thinking that I bring the excitement that you need in your life, and you bring the stability that I need. For the longest time, I was like, Karl's my rock.
You bring excitement I don't need to.
Well, you know what? You bring stress I don't need to, buddy. It goes both ways. But most of the time,
the wine smells.
Stop complaining about everything. Anyways, most of the time, though, I always imagined you as my rock, and I'm your balloon, and I lift you up, and you hold me down, and then together we balance each other. Huh?
Nothing.
What's wrong with rocks?
Nothing.
You help ground me. Now the last few years, I have wanted to fly a little bit. So okay, stop holding me down quite so much, Karl. Let me fly a little bit.
You've flown.
Yeah, I've flown. If I could choose any mutant superpower, it'd be flight. What about you?
Sure.
What would your mutant superpower be? Flight, psychic abilities.
Mine's long distance.
Invisibility. Of course it would be. You've basically been invisible for quite a while now, haven't you? Yeah, you're coming out of the hiding. But anyway, so we talked about it for a long time, and we had different challenges over the years, and eventually we had some challenges that prompted, it's like, okay, we're going to try this. And, and at first, I know we didn't really expect, or you didn't really expect, that I would find someone and have a relationship with someone, right?
No.
Yeah, that's what you told me. Now, I had told you That I couldn't just have like meaningless sex with someone.
There is a halfway point there, but
Yeah. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe. Well, the thing is, I didn't plan it. It was an accident. Like, this is your fault, Alex. What were you doing in Memphis? Like, Carl should beat your ass, man. Fuck you, Alex. Anyways, okay, but no, it's one of those things. It's like, we chose to do this for various reasons, and if we're being real, and that's my thing. There's a lot of reasons, but like one of those reasons definitely is that I'm 41. My hormones have been going crazy for years and years. I have a lot of needs, not just in the bedroom, but I need some attention, and I know you're gonna get mad.
The whole world's not enough. I know.
YOLO, Carl. YOLO. You only live once. Well, you only live this life.
Do you?
No, you do live more than once, but you only live this life once. In this exact way, because when you come back, if you live your life over again, it's always a little different. Anyways, that's another story. But I had gone out with just a couple of people after we opened up our relationship. Really, like the first guy was to rip the Band-Aid off. I wanted to know both how I would feel and how you would feel. Yeah. Well, okay, I don't remember if I ever sent it to you, but I know after I went out with the first guy, I have an ugly sobbing video that I made talking to you, like, Carl, I didn't want this, blah, blah, blah. I don't, but I think in the video I say something along the lines, it's like, okay, well, I have it for you. Anyways, it's from over a year ago, but I have it for you. But one of the things I said in the video is, it's like I'm talking about being upset and mad and stuff, and it's like, one of the reasons I'm mad is that I don't feel bad. Because I think that's one of the things, and I feel like you sometimes feel that way. Like sometimes we make ourselves feel bad because we feel like we're supposed to feel bad, like other people expect us to feel bad. But when I actually think about it, it's like, this doesn't bother me.
What?
Going back to the whole intellectual versus experience thing, and then.
Okay.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Keep talking.
Do you think they know what I'm saying?
Probably not.
Probably not.
Keep talking.
Okay. Well, anyways, it has been a roller coaster every year. So I met Alex in Memphis by pure chance, and we made a video earlier that I'll share talking about how we met. But just essentially, I randomly met you at a casino. I don't normally go to casinos. The first time I played a table game, blackjack, after losing my wallet, and was like, okay, well, if they have my wallet, I'll go play a game. You sat down, and I just felt so comfortable with you. And we went on a date, and I enjoyed your company so much. I was like, hey, do you want to come back to Alabama? And you did. You came back to Alabama. I didn't know you. He could have been a serial killer. There were a few times I was like, I think he's a serial killer. I could have been a serial killer. I could have been like, what is that, Madam Webb? Anyways, but he follows me back to Alabama. Now, there was this one moment, I almost missed a turn, and I was in a hurry to get back, and I had to do a crazy, reckless go off and exit thing. And he told me later on after the fact, you thought I was trying to lose you. You thought I had second thoughts. Yeah, I was like, no, I can't afford to miss this turn. I've got to go. But you came back, and you helped me paint the house, and like I was working, and you kind of took care of me and stuff, and that was so sweet. And anyways, I feel really lucky. And sometimes like I want to talk about things and like the adventures that we go on, the challenges, and the pros and the cons, but I get a little nervous. And one of the things I get nervous about is I've already had people, I've had several people give me shit over the years. And by shit, I just mean be openly jealous of me and Carl's relationship, of how long we've been together, of our friendship, of how smart you are. Yeah, oh God, I had this one aunt, I have her blocked now, but every time she'd visit, she's like, you know how lucky you are? And you know what, here's the thing, is that I am incredibly lucky. But when someone shows up and they say stuff like that and they fixate on one person, what I was hearing was that she doesn't realize how lucky he is to have me in his life, and that it's all about him and, making me not feel valued and all of that kind of stuff. And really what it is that most of my family grew up in poverty and stuff, and they're too fixated on, like material things and stuff, that being part of it. That is part of it. Anyways, so and there've been other people that have basically been openly jealous, and it's like, I feel for people that want to be in a relationship, that want to have a steady relationship and haven't found that yet. But it's still, it's not nice to make other people feel like shit. So anyways, I feel really awkward when it's like, I know I'm lucky in a lot, life's not perfect, but I'm lucky in a lot of ways. So I have not one, but two wonderful men in my life, and I can feel it right now. I can feel the venom in these people's eyes or their hearts or something. And it makes me sad. It makes me sad that they're that way. Like, why can't we just be happy for each other? Why can't we all wish each other well? And why can't we encourage more love in the world? Since kind of opening up, I mean, I definitely have adopted that kind of like free love, like love is not a scarce resource. It's scarce because we make people feel like they have to suppress it. But you don't have to suppress it. What consenting adults agree to between themselves is, we can make our own rules. What do you think, Carl?
Yeah, ditto.
Oh, come on, you got to speak more than that.
I have nothing else to add.
What do you think about, just everything? What have been some of the challenges for you? Like you've told me, for instance, that you're happy for me having extra happiness in my life. But of course, you're going to have, bless you,
Thank you.
There's been insecurities. Hell, I have insecurities about how you're feeling because I'm over here trying to figure out, okay, are you really okay, Carl? You told me you're okay, but are you okay? How are you feeling? How are you feeling right now?
Tired. Got it before.
Okay, well, if you actually spoke in this video.
I don't know what to say.
I want to talk about what this past year has been like and how you're...
It's been a wild roller coaster because I don't know where I live. I don't know where you live.
I don't know where I live either.
Questioning life choices every now and then.
Okay, well, why give him time to talk? So, I told you when I first met you that I was married, but in an open relationship. And, you were... Well, you say in your own words, you told me something along the lines of, I was open with you and upfront, and so...
Yeah, I mean, it was just honesty,
Though you tell me if I'm wrong. Especially the first couple of months, I think you liked the fact that I was married because your last marriage was, like ended poorly, and the fact I'm married, it's like I'm not after you for anything, other than your attention.
Yeah.
Is that right or is that wrong? Like we talked about in the past, but like, was it? Because I kept sometimes I was like, okay, what's going on in Alex's mind? Because I mean, I can't help but wonder, even if I'm open to the possibilities and have my own mental understanding of what it's like to be in a polyamorous or open relationship, I still can't help but wonder from all that societal programming. Well, what's going on in your head? Like, are you actually okay? Are you deranged? Like, are you just really mature? Like, because that's a question you have to ask. Is someone just really mature and enlightened? Or are they crazy? In a bad way, not a good way.
It just goes into a different realm.
Well, I think, just generally speaking, it's easier for you to come into the relationship because you knew up front that I have a husband. This is my partner. This is part of my life. You dating me, we are a package. It is harder for us because it was just us for so long, and this is a big change for us. And understandably, you're gonna feel, threatened or insecure at times. There have been times where you told me you felt like the third wheel, and I'm like, Carl, you were not the third wheel. But you can't help it. But that's how you feel. So I try to be mindful of your feelings, to try and help you not feel that way. Because, ideally my goal is for us all to be friends and be comfortable with each other. You don't have to be best friends. But like the way I see it is we're building our own tribe and our own family. And just like how we've always been in our life. Your problems and your blessings are my problems and my blessings. Like...
I'm sorry.
And you should be. It's absolutely awful, Carl. How could you?
In here.
It's not terrible.
You're not in here.
I'm not in your mind? You don't think about me?
That's not what I said. Finish the video.
I've told you, well, you have to actually speak. It can't always be me doing all the speaking. It just...
Well, that's what you do. I let you do it.
I know that's what you let me do, but I'm a little self-conscious because there are people that are like, oh, you never let Carl speak. Well, Carl doesn't fucking speak.
I have nothing to say.
You do have things to say.
Not to the video right now.
I, at least for us, want to know, have there been any surprises? Have there been what have you learned through this experience? Have you had any insights or, pros, cons, observations? Come on, you're an intellectual like me. You've got to have thought about some of this a little bit.
Nothing conclusive right now.
Well, I mean, it's fine for it not to be conclusive.
Well, then I'm not going to say it.
Can you give me your hypothesis, your theories?
I'm on the spot now. Sorry.
Do you want me to strangle? I'm going to strangle him. If you hadn't just cleared, I don't want to stain your shirt. I'd put this wine on you.
So
this is why I have a boyfriend, because this one won't speak.
Well, before we cut and edit, it's been a blessing. A little over a year since I've known Carol, and I try not to step on toes or anything. I'd rather have Carol in my life, and I know that she was already married before I met her. But before I met Carol, nobody wanted me. My family didn't, my friends didn't, my ex-wife didn't, the police didn't even want me. So it's like, and then I found somebody who wanted and needed me. And,
now, to be fair, you never put yourself in a position for other people to find you. You were like a freaking monk, like a hermit for a long time. So I need you to remind yourself of that.
That's truthful.
If you don't, this is for anyone. If you don't put yourself out there, if you don't show who you are, if you don't put yourself in a position for opportunities to arise, they're not going to arise. But, I believe that there's a reason that we met when we did and that we came into each other's life. Now, I don't want to put you on the spot, but I'm going to put you on the spot just a little bit because there's something that you say to me all the time about what you would say to Carl. Do you feel comfortable saying that right now?
I mean, if it's about I apologize that I can't apologize that I fell in love with you, then yeah.
You should say that to Carl, though.
He's good.
I told Alex the other day because he said that several times. He's talked to me several times about he can't help it and blah 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 blah. And I was like, I wanted you to hear him say that at one point because it's like I feel like we think along the same lines, but it's like I know you love me and want to protect me and want what's best for me, and I hope. If you don't realize it now, that's totally fine. But at some point in the future, I hope that it means something to you to know that he does care about me so much, that it's genuine, if we ever have another lady come into our lives and stuff, she better fucking genuinely care about you. That's my thing. Open poly relationships, they take all forms, so we've talked about kind of, what we're okay with. And the thing is that, we've had to be flexible. It's constantly evolving. We're new to this, so we're learning and stuff. But for me, it's very important that we all be able to be friends, to have dinner together, that there not be drama, and that we be able to exist as a family, and just, I guess, to kind of sum things up, one of the things that I've learned, and this is before opening up to poly, but what poly has, poly has kind of confirmed what I thought, is that it is often really unfair to think that one person can fulfill all of your needs. And we all are unique people with different talents and strengths and flaws and stuff. And so, it's been interesting to me. It's like, what does it mean when like if you love more than one person, like, is that love the same? No, that love, that relationship is not the same, because you're two unique people, like it's, I think the best example is, going from having like one kid to having two kids. Because I remember when it was just me before my siblings came, and I had all of my parents' attention, all that kind of stuff. And then when I found out that they were going to have another kid, now this may have been with my brother, but I just remember it.
I can't imagine you remembering, Stacey.
I remember when I found out I was going to have another sibling that I felt threatened. I felt like my parents weren't going to have, I already wasn't getting the attention that I wanted. I felt like I wasn't going to get enough attention. I wasn't having enough time. And while I did have to share my parents' attention with my siblings, I also got a sibling out of it. I got that relationship, and in a lot of ways, like, that relationship, was a lot of fun. But I feel like it's the same kind of dynamic. It's like, parents can love more than one kid. It goes all the way around. And then I think for me, the big insights have been just how different one, it's like one relationship isn't necessarily better than the other. Some poly open people have hierarchy, some don't. We kind of do, because you are my husband. You are my life partner. You're my best friend. We've been together for 24 years, and I've always been very open with you about, Carl's not just my husband. You're like, I swear, spiritually conjoined twins. Like, I feel like, and sometimes, I don't know whether it's healthy or not. I think it's special. But you're part of me. Like, there have been times where
think of how that would be unhealthy.
Where we've been cycling. I guess borderline codependency sometimes. Because honestly, like, okay, we're like peanut butter and jelly. For a very long time, we each had strengths and weaknesses, and we complemented each other. And that's part of what made us such a great team. And I think that's part of, why things kind of went south when we stopped working together. Because we work really well together as a team. And
so long ago.
It was. We still work on projects together, but we balance each other out really well. Mm-hmm. But we were more connected when we were working together, and when we kind of went down two different career fields, it split us off a little bit, and then we started not being able to communicate as clearly and stuff. When we really, you start speaking two different languages. You're over here talking to me about cars and all these damn Honda acronyms and stuff, and I'm just like, and I'm over here trying to talk to you about art and ergonomics and things and stuff, and paint colors and feelings and things, and it's not that you don't understand it at all.
Ergonomics and paint colors are actually both part of
okay, yes, but to the level that I'm talking about, mister, to the level I'm talking about. So, but I do feel incredibly lucky. I feel so lucky that that you love me so much, that you support me, that you want me to be happy. And I also feel so lucky that to have a partner, because I always wanted to live that Star Trek life. It was a requirement to me that whoever I dated or married be a Star Trek fan, because I was raised on Star Trek. You were raised on Star Trek too. And the things that we love, the fandoms and the stories that we love, they say a lot about, they help shape our values and the way that we see the world and stuff. And I always wanted to live that Star Trek life, to boldly go where no one has gone before, to discover the unknown, and then to also like push ourselves to be like the best version of ourselves. And so to me, it means so much to me that you're willing to go on this adventure with me, because I know you're not always comfortable. It's usually me that's pushing us into uncomfortable places, but every time we do, we learn and we grow. And I know you're still not as excited about it as I am, but one of the things I've learned from being married for so long is that every challenge that we face together and we overcome helps us level up. And so I've kind of gotten ding ding ding, like ding ding ding. We're like power leveling right now, but the last 8 years or so, I've kind of gotten to where like I welcome the challenges because I want to, like at this point I've leveled up a little bit, and I'm like, man, I want to be like a super couple. Level us up. Come on, bring on hard mode. Level us up. So thank you for assisting us in leveling up, Alex. You're still kind of a low level noob. We got to help you level up a little bit, but we'll power level you, okay? Carl and I are pretty far up there, but I think they undid power leveling in Diablo, but
I played Diablo in 24 years, girl. I have no idea.
Let me see you guys
you gonna sit it down?
for a second before we turn the camera off.
Okay. We're about to turn the camera off, Carl. In a minute, Alex wants to say something.
You can drag his hand up here too.
Okay, all right, bring your hand over here. All right, here we go.
There you go, man. We're about to turn the camera off, guys.
You just wanted to meow?
Yeah, this is the rough draft. She's gonna edit all this out.
Yes,
Maybe,
please.
or might go with a raw cut, raw and uncensored. Well, all I gotta say is go. I mean, you're not censored, but go Team Record. And also, you have to assimilate into our tribe. That's how it happens. And God, man, come on, guys. There's one more thing I want to say.
I don't know.
Okay, you can't move. I've got to. Come on, it's gonna come back to me. What's the one thing I want to say? What was it? It was right there.
It's on the tip of your tongue.
So bite your tongue.
I know, but the cat got it.
To boldly go. And then also just, thank you both for putting up with me. I mean, y'all drive me crazy, but I know, reverse is true. And I'm excited. Just to finish this off, we're in our Starfleet uniforms, all that kind of stuff. I feel when we're all hanging out together, like it feels so right to me. I feel like I'm Captain Kirk assembling my crew, or actually finding my crew. I know there's an episode where it's like the crew gets sick and they lose their memory, and like people start slowly waking up and stuff, and the leaders are trying to find everybody. And anyways, I'm really excited. I'm really excited about the future. And I also want to add that I've been very nervous about being open about a relationship. I knew that I would want to be from the beginning because I like to share things and stuff. But I have to say that I have been really touched by all of the support, and that people have been so cool about it and stuff. So I really appreciate that. And any last words?
Nope.
I guess cut.
Cut. All right, you want to do the honor?